Yes, well, it's been an interesting ride for us, and it's nice to be able to see the sort of the lights at the end of the tunnel. Across Europe, I would say we're still dealing with different dynamics market by market. It has been wonderful to see in the UK, which is our largest market within Europe, how the easing of restrictions have meant that actually, particularly the leisure travellers, have come back and forth. So we've seen very strong performance actually across segments in the UK. And we have seen as progressively across continental Europe, the restrictions have been lifted, a similar pattern. So domestic leisure has been the driver of business over the summer period, as we expected, and with very strong outcomes from it. We're now shifting, of course, to the corporate travellers coming back in Q4, and we're hoping that we'll start seeing the similar patterns. It is getting easier every day to travel from country to country, and that's exactly what we need in order to continue to drive that performance. It's nice to see that there are more great openings to look forward to. So, and amongst those, some fantastic luxury and lifestyle properties as well. We've got a Kimpton coming in Mallorca, which comes off the back of the recent opening of the Kimpton in Paris, the Saint-Honoré, which is an absolute flagship for us with great early feedback already. So the Kimpton journey continues. We continue to expand across our luxury brands. So we predict a continued strong trend into 22 and beyond. Well, for IHG, it's filling out another space within our luxury and lifestyle portfolio, which is something we have deliberately invested in the last years. We acquired Six Senses, as you're probably aware. We acquired Regent in order that kind of the core of our luxury portfolio, Intercontinental, which is now 75 years young, actually had complementary offers around that brand. So Six Senses in the resorts, sustainable development space with a strong spa proposition, Regent at the uber luxury level for us, and of course Kimpton, as I talked about, expanding out of the US and very rapidly into Europe and Middle East and Asia. What we found was, when we heard from owners, was we didn't have a solution for those that had fantastic hotels with their own identity, but that needed the benefit of a corporate enterprise system in terms of revenue delivery, loyalty programs, and just that broader reach. So that's why Vignette Collection was born, and the early feedback has been really, really positive. We announced it with 2 signings already in Thailand, in Australia. And we expect to see probably 100 hotels over a decade. So major growth prospect for us, one that I think is well timed in terms of what the market is going through now, through that recovery. We know there will be independent hoteliers that are looking for the best possible opportunity to build up demand again, and we can offer that. Yes, I think there is certainly a trend of wanting to join a major hotel brand in order to have the best possible opportunities to tap on all the revenue drivers as we come through the pandemic. We're also seeing a continued trend in wanting some individual flair, which is Vignette Collection strength, that you can keep the local identity of your hotel. And that's something we saw also when we actually created Voco, our latest brand, and one that has taken off really, incredibly well. We were talking about reminiscing that when we were at IHIF 2.5 years ago, we talked about 12 signings. We now have over 50 opened and signed. So a very, very fast growth trajectory, and probably built on the same principles, a brand that gives more flexibility, more individual flair, but gives an owner the benefit of the larger enterprise. Well, I mean, as I said, we're excited about the growth ahead, and it is very near and imminent in terms of upcoming openings. So this year we'll open an Intercontinental in Barcelona. We've signed an Intercontinental in Ankara. We've signed an Intercontinental in Montenegro. So we are seeing growth both in city locations and resort locations for Intercontinental. As I said, 75 years on, that brand still resonates incredibly well with guests. Kimpton has been a really fantastic journey for us since we introduced it into Europe, and with Paris as the latest halo opening following Barcelona, and as I said, Mallorca coming, and many more, coming in the years to come. Voco, we just opened a fantastic property in The Hague, and that will continue to gain momentum as really, bringing and breathing life into Voco with that wonderful pipeline we have. And then, of course, Six Senses continues to find very selective, fantastic opportunities. Recently opening in Ibiza and in Turkey. So there are many more gaps for us to fill. We think Vignette Collection will round that off really nicely in terms of finding hotels that are already beautiful properties, but that can come in and benefit from the power of IHG.